Emiko Nakano's journey to ACC Care Center began in 2015. Her children lived in the Bay Area and took turns providing in-home care. After Emiko had a stroke, they chose ACC to provide rehabilitation and soon after, long-term care. Emiko Nakano was born Emiko Fujikawa in Japan in 1919. World War I just ended, and silent movies were all the rage. When she was 1, her family came to the U.S. and settled in Isleton, California. Emiko was the second of 10 children.
My father grew beans. He was a lease owner. He got the lease and then farm.
At that time, schools were racially segregated, and Emiko's school had a special designation.
Well, I went to Oriental school, which consists of Chinese, Japanese, and Filipinos. My mother always wanted me to learn dancing and piano and study most of the time.
In 1938, Emiko graduated from Rio Vista High School and had her sights set on attending UC Berkeley.
I wanted to be a nurse. I did want to go, and I was all ready to enter, but then we just couldn't go to Sacramento to take the test. So that was the end of it.
Shortly after, Emiko met her future husband through a church friend.
My husband was Mario Masaharu Nakano. His personality was good and very nice about spending his money, treating us to the lunch and dinners. We got married in 1940, and I didn't want no big wedding, so we married in our apartment that we rented.
Emiko gave birth to Tamaya, the first of their 4 children. Then, the war broke out. Emiko's family and her parents were sent to Tule Lake internment camp. She spent 4 years there and gave birth to Mario Jr.
Oh, the worst thing was the housing. Wintertime was cold, and the food was horrible. We had nothing but fish.
Emiko remembers FDR's Executive Order 9066 and a survey that questioned people's patriotism to America. It asked if they practiced judo or played basketball, if they were Buddhist or Christian, and if they would serve in the U.S. Armed Forces and give up loyalty to the Emperor of Japan. Especially for the men, fears of deportation and revenge abounded no matter how they answered these questions.
President was President Roosevelt. I thought he was just terrible although he wasn't the one that instigated the camp. It was General DeWitt. He was the one that he really wanted the Japanese to be out of the West Coast.
I think it made them tougher and more survivalist because everything was taken away from them, so they had to start anew.
After the war ended, the Nakano family moved to Hunters Point and later to Richmond Housing Project in Richmond, California. In the late 1940s, Mario Sr. bought Berkeley Bait Shop at 1479 San Pablo Avenue.
People will ask me where the good fishing is, and so I had to tell them the spot. Then when they came back, they showed us the fish. Then they would say, you showed me the good spot.
The Nakanos sold the bait shop in the late 50s, and Mario went to work as a gardener and landscaper. In the late 60s, he bought BBB Nursery, located at 1050 Gilman Street, and renamed it Nakano Nursery. The business prospered, but the Nakano family faced a new crisis: the Vietnam War. Emiko's son, Stephen, was severely wounded less than a month into combat duty.
I was shot in the head, shrapnel in the back, and shrapnel in the foot. So I was in Letterman's Hospital for about 3 months. The doctor says, well, you can go home, but somebody has to clean your wounds. I guess they asked my mom. I had a wound in my shoulder, 6 by 4 inch, and she would have to fill that up with peroxide, take a little cotton swab, take it all out, and then she'd have to build a tent around the wound so air can get in. And she did that, a couple months, 2 or 3 times a day, and I'll be forever grateful to her. And it shows you what kind of mom she is.
The Nakano family worked in the nursery until Mario's passing in 1987. Emiko Nakano spent a lifetime raising a family, running a business, and helping others. With this rich life experience, she's become quite an entrepreneur at ACC Care Center.
On Mondays, we sell flowers that they get from Trader Joe's. The best thing is when they ask us, what are we going to do with our money? So I always tell them that we want to make enough so that we could share with the other people who's not able to buy the children clothes or diapers or whatever. So we're just making money for that purpose.
Today, Emiko has 6 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren, and she'll be celebrating her 100th birthday in the fall of 2019.